Democrats don't seem upset at the job Biden is doing. They don't seem upset about inflation. They don't seem upset about the open border. They don't seem upset about the fact that most Americans now cannot become first-time homeowners. They're only upset that he didn't do a better job lying about all of those things, right? And it's the same thing with Kamala Harris. They're not upset that she is incapable of contributing anything to the ticket. They are only upset that she cannot do a better job of faking it. And I think that that gets to the heart of what the Democratic Party has become. Because if you are the Democrats' base, if you are a multiply credentialed person in the top 10%, Joe Biden's America has actually been very good for you. Yeah. You maybe got your student loans paid off. Your home value, you're a homeowner, is now worth so much more. You have so many fewer people competing for goods because they cannot afford them, right? There are all these benefits you've gotten. There are all these illegal immigrants for you to hire who you don't have to pay as much as you would pay an American. So to their base, the elites, this is a really good time. So they don't actually think Joe Biden's doing a bad job. They just want him to lie about it better so that the 60% of hardworking Americans who are struggling will not realize what's going on, as if they could be wrong about that. Yeah.
I've been saying a long time on this channel that the Democrat is the party of the elites, the party of the rich. People don't want to believe me. My family members don't want to believe me. Many people on YouTube, comment section, on the internet, Rumble, they don't want to believe me, right? They want to argue with me. Hey, Donald Trump is the worst option. Donald Trump is Hitler. All this fear mongering, all this emotionalism. But then when I ask, oh, you say that Biden's good on the policies, tell me the policies that, help you out. And they struggle to give me something coherent. It usually falls apart about Trump bad, orange man bad. Like, is this what we're doing now? Huh? Democrats, is this what we're doing now? Oh, anything for this is the problem with the Democratic Party, bro. Every time I look at the outcomes of your policy, I don't focus on the pitch. I don't focus on how you make your policy seem desirable. A lot of things people say are desirable. I wish that everyone can be a millionaire. I wish that everyone can take care of themselves, but that's not the reality, right? But the Democrats, that's what the Democrats pitch to you. Hey, we can make you all millionaires. But then what's the feasibility of that? What's the practicality of that? What's the outcome of that? That's something that the Democrats do not focus on at all. They don't focus on the outcomes of Trump's policies at all. All they do is fearmonger about how he hates people, right? Alleged rumors about Donald Trump. That's what they focus on. They focus on, oh, you had to pay a porn star to shut up. Well, in Congress, you guys spent $15 million fighting the same claims that were happening to Donald Trump. So all of you are complicit in this for the most part. But this is what they fall upon, right? This is what they care about. Do they care about this? This is the results of the Democratic policy. This is the outcome of the Democrat agenda. Therefore, big government. Therefore, government managing things. Therefore, government doing this. But the cost for any government benefit is inflation. That is a wisdom and truism that conservative economists highlights every single time, that the government is an unnatural monopoly. It uses force, not persuasion, not a suggestion, force. We're going to keep printing all this money. Look at the inflation rate. Can the common 60% working class American afford 40% on goods, consumable goods like bread, eggs, chicken, gasoline, electricity, car insurance, especially if you live in a condensely populated area? Can you afford that, America? Many Americans are shaking their head. No, they can't. And Democrats don't want to recognize this problem. How Democrats, end of the day, the first step to fixing a problem is to recognize you have one. And I have not seen any type of reflectiveness in the Democratic Party whatsoever in their agenda. We just have Independence Day yesterday at the time of me making this video. Bidenomics. 4th of July family cookout reached a record high $71. But the economy is strong. You must be a high net worth individual. You must be in the top 10% of taxpayers, because those are the only people who can fix their mouth and says that the economy is strong. This is a strong economy. 59% of Americans believe that the economy is not good. The economy does not work for them. Oh, you're gonna throw in the black unemployment numbers. You want to throw in unemployment numbers. How many people aren't looking for a job? Because unemployment only really tracks people who are actually actively seeking a job. But you keep pushing, you keep overstating the job numbers when a lot of the, like, what, 30% of the job numbers are created by government spending. All you know how to do is propped up. There's three kind of lies: lies, damn lies, and statistics. And that's an attempt by the government, an attempt by Democrats to lie about the situation of the job numbers. Journalists are playing right along, the most liberal profession in the world, sitting here trying to lecture to Americans that you guys falsely believe that the economy isn't strong. Look at all the layoffs. All you have to do is look at technology. Technology is some of the most risky, disruptive. It's not a industry that cash flows very well. So if you're in a strong economy, when people have access money to be able to invest in tech, but look at the mass layoff in that sector. But you're going to sit here and pretend that it's a strong economy? Talk to any college graduate that graduated this year and tell them and ask them how tough it is for them to find a job. Is that a signal of a strong economy? Democrats, you guys are living in delusion, right? I know I'm doing this for my Democrat, left-leaning people who happen to watch my channel because they say, "Oh, can you criticizing Democrats, but you ain't giving no substantive debate of why." Disney heiress pauses donation to the Democrats until Biden drops out of the presidential race. This is realism, not disrespect. So, an heiress of Disney, longtime Dem donor, Disney heiress Abigail Disney, reportedly says that she no longer donates to the Democratic Party until President Joe Biden drops out of the presidential race, following his dismal debate performance. What was dismal about it? And it goes back to the intro. That's what I loved about that intro. It's all about looking good, not actually doing good. What benefits did the American people actually benefit from? You have people telling Joe Biden, hey, Joe Biden shouldn't run on what he did. He should run on what Donald Trump could do. Everything's about Trump. Project 2025, even though Trump didn't endorse it, right? Oh, Kenny, former Trump advisors, former Trump staffers are working in that agenda. So how can you say that Donald Trump is not part of Project 2025? It's the same argument that conservatives did where, hey, this former attorney that worked in the federal office for President Joe Biden stepped down, went to the DA, and all of a sudden the hush money case came about. I can make the same argument. Hey, how come Joe Biden is not involved in prosecuting his political opponent using the legal system when a former person that worked for him went to the DA to work under the New York Attorney General to prosecute Trump? I can make that same argument. So if you want to deny that Biden's involvement in Trump getting convicted of 34 counts in the New York court, I can also say the same thing about Project 25. Now we're even. See, this is the game that my position has always been, I demand consistency. I don't sit here, play what about isms. I only use what about isms if I notice it's an hypocrisy on your side. Because at the end of the day, I know a man by what he do to people that's actually on his side. If you're willing to criticize someone that's actually on your side, then I know, okay, you're about something. You're about principles. You're not about party over self. You're not about party over principles. And this is the reality about the Democratic Party. They're about themselves. They ain't about a Democrat. They ain't about America. Me, in politics, I want a win-win situation. You elect my guy, this is the benefit you get out of it. You're not going to get everything. Hey, there's trade-offs. Everything, life is about trade-offs. There's no perfect solution, right? This is the most logical answer that I can give anyone on this channel, right? Because you guys know where I'm coming from. Excuse me. You guys know that I come from a conservative perspective on a lot of these matters. But what I try not to do is I try not to just, and I don't try to do the trust me, bro. I don't try to do that. I try to point to, hey, look, this is what I'm basing my opinion on. This is how I reached this conclusion. What do you think? Maybe you have something different information that contradicts what I say. Express that, because at the end of the day, it does not benefit America having people who do not understand the inner workings of their civil government. It doesn't benefit none of us, right? Like the founding fathers warned us, if Americans is not vigilant, your government will become like a wolf, ravaging us. Like right now, we're getting ravaged right now. $35 trillion in debt. They're spending billions of dollars into foreign aid, probably getting kickbacks from NGOs, these politicians, right? Not accountable to us. doing extracting as much wealth out of the people as possible, treating us like serfs in our own country. We say, hey, close the border. Democrats give a half measure because they still want people to come into the border. Biden been lying for years. I can't do nothing about the border until they pass a bill. All of a sudden, his poll numbers get threatened, and oh, look at that. He tried to do a half measure on the border. When people don't want, we want the flow cut off. No, let them trickle in. We don't let them flood in the border now. It's a trickle now. We still got all this mess to deal with. Like, bro, this is why majority of Americans support mass deportation. But are the Democratic agenda actually addressing this? No. They want to play on your emotions. They want to tell you, oh my God, Orange Man is Hitler. I don't want to vote for Hitler. Do you want to vote for Hitler? Ad hominem attacks. Then you ask, hey, how's Donald Trump Hitler? How is he Hitler? What? He said there were very fine people on both sides. Hey, your fact checker Snopes says that's a lie. It took him 7 years to recognize that, but that's a lie. Conservatives have been saying this for years that, hey, you're taking them out of context. Hey, you're clipping clips, all this stuff. The same thing you try to say about Biden, but then in the debate, the conservative perspective on Biden was validated. The American people already felt that Biden was already too old. They questioned Biden's mental fitness months, years before the debate. Conservatives played on that. Liberals came back and said, oh, they're cheap fakes. They're highly edited videos, right? Dismissing what the concerns conservatives was bringing up in the public consciousness of the American people. And then the debate confirmed all of that. And then the liberal media, Democrats, have the gall to still demand credibility. Hell no. America, we should be more skeptical of Democrats in 2024 because we gave them the benefit of the doubt. Like, one thing Democrats can't say, they can't say that the American people did not give them the benefit of the doubt. They came out, had highly edited clips. Oh, Joe Biden's fine. Nothing to worry about. Donald Trump is Hitler. Donald Trump's a threat to democracy. American people believed all that. Biden gets elected. Everything went downhill. Oh, Donald Trump's going to start World War II, World War III. Sorry, my bad. I know Biden's old, but he's not that old. World War III. Biden gets in office. We're closer to World War III with Biden than Trump. But what was the narrative? What was the narrative that Democrats gave us? If you had completely trusted a Democrat 100% of the time, you would have been wrong on every damn issue over the last 4 years. We'll build back better. Build back better what? For who? Not for the common American. Maybe for the rich elite like Mark Cuban, who's actively defending Biden. Maybe if you're rich and famous, it was better for you. The peasants aren't clogging the streets because they can no longer afford gasoline. Here's a motive for why a rich person will donate to the Democratic Party. Here's a motive for why rich and wealthy people vote Democrat. Is that the Democrat policies become a regulation, aka it becomes a gatekeep, a barrier to entry. It makes it harder for people to come into their side of the equation. It makes it harder for you to start a business so you can compete with these big, long-established businesses. They benefited from Republican policies, and then once they feel like they benefited enough, let's close the door behind us. That's where a rich person would vote Democrat. It's not out of the kindness of their heart. They're looking out for the little guy. Because end of the day, in politics, and maybe it's cynical on my part, but I'm principled. I have morality. I believe in the goodness of people. I'm naturally optimistic, but I counter that in my own mind with a suspicious nature, right? My suspicious nature is that I always look at what is functionally, like selfishly, what can someone benefit selfishly from doing this choice? Because in my view, the only fair thing is an equivalent exchange of some sorts, right? A win-win scenario, right? My selfish desires being fulfilled by your selfish desires. We both win on this issue right here. I don't look to, oh, look how moral they are. No, in politics, that's not me. I look at functionally, what does this person get out of helping me? Trump, glory, egotistical, right? If I believe the liberal argument, oh, Donald Trump's egotistical. Donald Trump, what's the biggest ego? His name being recognized as the greatest president in history. I was a billionaire. I took a hit in office. All because what? I care about this country. Selfishly, you can say that, hey, that's going to bring him a lot of glory. Trump likes to be liked. Trump loves to be loved. So, with that sentiment, with that ego, right, Democrats, wouldn't it mean that it's in Trump's best interest to do what the common American, because most Americans can't afford this economy. Most Americans are struggling with this economy. And then you want to sit here and pretend he's Hitler. Idiots. Dumb. Stupid messaging. And then you want to get mad at black men. Oh, why are they going to Donald Trump? Uncle T. Why are they going to Uncle T? Not Uncle Tom, Uncle Trump. That's what black men are calling that. That's a phraseology being used by black men today, right now on the internet. They call him Uncle Trump. Man, Uncle Trump was giving us. We were doing good under Uncle T. Which I'm mad. Trump takes a 6-point lead over Biden nationally, gains significant ground with independent voters. Wall Street Journal reports. Those are the outcomes of the Democratic agenda. Because at some point, either Democrats, you make a change or you stay the same. I know it's comfortable to say the same, but hey, look, don't take my advice. I'm a conservative. I want Joe Biden to stay in office. But to me, it's at a point where I don't think it matters anymore. As long as it don't matter who you run. If you run in the same policy, I'll say, oh, no, we good. Oh, I ain't worried about him. But they don't see the folly in their ways. If we just articulate it to the American people better, it don't matter how well you articulate ish. It'll always be ish. It don't matter how much you dress up a pig, how much you glorify a pig, no matter how much credibility you try to frame a pig, it's a pig. A bad policy is a bad policy, and these are the bad outcomes of it. Should I go back to the inflation again? Government spending did that. There you go. Government spending did all that. What would you do differently that Biden didn't already do, that Biden wasn't already putting forth? Democrats are legion. That's it. They all believe in the same thing. It's just in various degrees. Donald Trump wanted to cut regulation. The tax cuts ends in 2025. Many rich and successful people say, hey, yo, I want those Trump tax cuts because it benefited everybody. Because once that thing goes away, everyone's taxes rise overnight. You think the Democrats are going to reinstate tax cuts for the rich and for everyone else generally? No. Trump gave tax cuts to everybody. The Biden administration only wants to give tax cuts to the bottom, like the bottom, people who make less than $400,000 a year. But they don't know people who make $400,000 a year are doctors, lawyers, healthcare professionals, business owners, people who happen to sell their house that year. They don't know how to articulate themselves, and then they want to get mad at me why I'm voting Trump, why I'm voting Republican. Because I'm black, not stupid. That's why. I know many black people can't really afford Biden. I can't really afford Biden. Biden's for an acquired taste, Biden for the rich folk. But here you are voting right along with them because Donald Trump's bad. Who told you that? And bad for who? Bad for you? Or bad for the people that's talking for your party? I don't know. Because I'm just tired of the complaint. I'm tired of liberals coming in here. Oh, we got no other options. You got RFK. Go for that guy. Make him your protest vote. I already said it on this channel. My dream scenario is for the Democrats to finish third in 2024. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Many people thought Donald Trump was going to win 2016. So, hey, anything can happen. But all I'm saying is anyone within the sound of my voice, I don't care your political affiliations, honestly. Because as far as I'm concerned, you my people. Like, I'm an American, you're an American. We all care about what's best interest of this country because we all benefit from this country being the greatest ever. But what policies help it be the greatest country ever and what policies doesn't help this country be the greatest country ever? That's what we should be thinking about as a country. It don't matter which party gives it to us. Hey, this policy is more feasible for the benefit of the country. The Republican Party already passed a bill called the Secure the Border Act. It's called the Secure the Border Act. That will fix the border. It's already passed from the House. It's in the Senate right now. The Senate don't want to vote on it. Okay, what do we need to do to get the Senate to vote on this? Oh, it seems like Democrats are unwilling. Not a single Democrat voted for this bill. Okay, that means that not a single Democrat agree with this solution that a majority of Americans want implemented in our system. Vote them all out. That's how this is my vision of an American populace that is high information voters. My argument, and this is one reason why I started this channel, is I want to create more moderately informed American voters. I don't care about spinning anything. I care about debating on the substance, on the policy, on the ideals, the culture, the perspective, the mindset of these things that create these policies, that pushes these policies. Because end of the day, before you can make an action, you have to have an idea. And I think this is where my lane is gonna be in the political space, is that I want to speak on the idea. Hey, why should we do this? Is this really necessarily a good thing? How feasible are this idea, and why are the negatives, the drawbacks, the positives? What are the trade-offs? Because everything has a trade-off. Because that's what life is. Life is about trade-offs. But instead, the Democrats don't want to focus on trade-offs. They want to make you, they want you frightened over the idea of a Trump presidency, even though we already had one before. Based on proven track record, it's most likely we're going to get what we got in 2016. Oh, it's the last straw. He said he'll be a dictator on day one. Even though he said that jokingly. If you saw the video, you can tell he was joking about that. But these people, they take him literally because they know they can spin a narrative over that. The Democrats want you more frightened than actually hurt by by Trump's policies. And this is the idea, this is the agenda that they're going with. They want Americans frightened to vote for Trump. It's the same fear they used in 2020. This is why I believe that Biden won the 2020 election, because they had the media fearmonger, putting death counts on COVID, pushing fear on a global scale, locking people down when they were mentally vulnerable during the whole COVID. That's why Democrats look at the COVID years fondly, especially the mainstream media, because people were more susceptible to their negative messaging, especially about Donald Trump's presidency. This is why they put such a negative framing on it. The rigging of the election happened in the minds of the American people because the media gave one spin and one spin only on the 2020 years. They didn't look at none of the positives Trump did. Project Warp Speed, regardless if you believe in the vaccine or not. Trump was trying to solve the problem so we can open up the economy, open up the governments, open up society. But the Democrats didn't want to because they were playing politics. And now it's biting them in the butt in 2024. This is a referendum on the Democratic Party. It ain't about Donald Trump. It's about the Democratic Party. And I want the American people to wake up and realize, hey, look, you may not like Trump, but would you cut your nose to spite your face? Like, do you care about yourself that much that you don't care about yourself that much that you'll vote for a party just because you don't like the personality of the alternative? But you benefited from his policies, though, for the most part. But hey, people are going to vote how they want to vote. But don't come here and try to tell me it's a rational decision you're making voting Democrat. No, that's an emotional one. You experience both presidencies. You experience both Biden and Trump. Even if they flip Biden out for Kamala Harris, she ain't pushing anything different compared to Biden. She's probably pushing something even worse than Biden. And you have something to choose, something you actually experience. You can't, it's not a hypothetical. You actually experience these bad policies. And if you go back and vote Democrat, hey, look, you're a lost cause. But this is the outcomes. This is my argument. I want you to know the reality of what you're doing. You can't sit here and lie to yourself. Oh, I'm voting against Hitler. No, I'm not letting you do that. You voting for higher cost of living. You're voting for a bad economy that's on the verge of collapse. You're voting for smoke and mirrors. You're voting for, I just want everyone to think a certain way about certain issues, even if it's a lie. You're voting for a sweet lie over the bitter truth. And the bitter truth is, ain't no reason for no American to be voting Democrat in 2024. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you guys think of my synopsis, my monologue. I'd like to hear your thoughts about it in the comment section. What are your thoughts about it? Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, I want to hear all of it in the comment section below. I watch every comment, even if I don't reply to it, because I just don't have the time anymore, guys. But I do appreciate you guys commenting, and it really helps me see everything from a different perspective. Because unlike a Democrat who statistically is more likely to only get their source of information from one side of the aisle, I'm open to all perspectives. Right. But hey, I digress. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe once again, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.